Hello, my name is Eric Follick. I'm a Platonist contemplative ascetic and renunciant, and I like to read for you just a little note or paragraph about the idea of so-called historical Socrates, and originally written in the course of correspondence. If you would like to read the written version of this, it's available along with my other writings at platonistasceticism.blogspot.com. That's Platonist and asceticism as one word, platonistasceticism dot blogspot.com, and also at independent.academia.edu slash Eric Follick as one word, capital ERIC, capital F as in Frank, ALLICK. Okay, so here we go. It's not very long. I personally have little interest in the supposed, quote, historical Socrates, whatever meaning such an idea may even really have. The Socrates of the dialogues is just, to my mind, an allegorical symbol in accordance with the overall nature of the dialogues as a whole. You will note that in the Enneads, although Plotinus quotes Plato a number of times, the only times he ever refers to Socrates is when he uses the name, quote, Socrates as a generic example for an arbitrary person. That is, as, quote, John Smith or, quote, John Doe. I know that most people look to the dialogues as historical documents or records to whatever extent, and in accordance with their usually exclusive preoccupation with the sense world, try to understand them as realist historical documents, but I take them just as spiritual documents. The purpose of true great spiritual texts like the dialogues and Enneads is not to provide sensory or sense world information relating to alleged past occurrences in some supposed realist past physical world, but to remind our souls of the spiritual truths they have forgotten. The Platonist teaching of learning is recollection solves a multitude of difficulties. And to practice them and leave and renounce this least real sense world and return to their true home. They are teaching us how to get out of the cave and reminding us what things look like in the light, not giving us information about shadows on the cave wall that are the exclusive concern of worldlings. Ultimately, all spiritual texts that we perceive are, like everything else, just experiences according to our karma, with no philosophically realist referent. In this case, experiences of our karma lightening up so that the absolute is beginning to shine through the sense world and leading us to remember and helping us to practice to get free. All that is real is the higher hypostases, their darkened trace manifesting as this world and the world soul, the underlying spiritual structure of reality, and the movement of individual souls closer to or farther from the one in their long journey and revolution through countless births in genesis or samsara. Though we must, in our circumstances, of course, deal extensively and honestly with, quote, history, unquote, ultimately all so-called historical records and artifacts are just present manifestations and appearances and experiences in our sense fields with no actually realistic existing physical past reference. Almost no one seems to understand what I am talking about when I say such things, but perhaps even a little glimpse of the one itself and regular contemplative experience of nous may show one that this whole sense world of becoming is just a shadow or projection of the higher hypostases, with the least reality, and that all manner of possible combinations of projections or traces of the forms form all sorts of different relative realities of experience of souls according to their karma. So that's all. That's it. Just a little note about the idea of the historical Socrates. I hope that that is of help and interest to somebody out there. And that's all. Thank you very much for watching. Bye bye.